Hello, and thank you for joining us for our Getting to Know Your Speedway Officers video series. I'm Debbie West of the Speedway Citizens Academy Alumni Association.
Thank you for taking the time to let us get to know you today. Please introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been with Speedway and in law enforcement.
My name's Kyle Hodges, and I've been at Speedway for 12 years.
So, what shift do you work?
I work day shift,
And what are those hours?
6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
What rank are you?
I'm a sergeant.
Wow. So, what do you have to do to get to be sergeant?
There has to be an opening on the department, and then there's a competitive promotional process. It consists of a written test over some material that the department assigns, books, an oral interview, and then a skills portion of the interview process.
So, being a sergeant, does that mean that you're like a supervisor?
Yep.
So that sounds like it takes a little more responsibility.
It does. It does.
Just outside of patrolling.
Correct. It just depends on the day. I mean, there's some days that there's, different paperwork, office work that has to get done. But I spend the vast majority of my day patrolling.
What do you enjoy about being out on patrol?
The variety. There's no schedule. There's no, you have to be here at a certain time. It's you kind of do what you want and get to interact with a lot of different people.
So, on average, how many calls do you think you take a shift?
It depends. As a supervisor, we're not primarily dispatched on runs. So there are certain runs that we have to go on if there's a robbery or a burglary in progress or some sort of an assault. We'll go on that. But I'd probably say on an average day, I'll take maybe 4 or 5 calls.
Can you share a funny story about something you've seen or experienced?
Yeah, maybe 9 or 10 years ago, I was a field training officer, so I had a new police officer that I was training, and we were sitting at dinner, and we got a call about a person that had been stabbed. So we got up and started driving, and as we're on our way there, the dispatcher gets on and says that the 911 caller said that her friend had been stabbed and that it was bad, that her friend's intestines were hanging out, and so I kind of reached over and pushed the rookie's leg, so we drive a little bit faster, and we get there, and she's standing out in the street, and she's got blood smeared on her chest, and so I tell Paul to put her in handcuffs, and I went up to the truck where she was driving to find the person that had been injured, and I got up there, and there was nobody in the truck. And so I turned around, and I came back, and he still hadn't handcuffed her, and he was just kind of standing there looking at her, and I was a little upset, and I'm like, why isn't she in handcuffs yet? And he pointed, and she had a little chipmunk in her hand, and she had told our 911 dispatchers that it was a person that had been stabbed, and when it was actually a chipmunk. So we had fire department and ambulance and a bunch of police officers around, and it turned out it was a chipmunk. So it was kind of funny when it was all over with.
That's all we have time for today. Stay tuned for more of our interview with Sergeant Hodges.